Hello again. Jared Case here, curator of film exhibitions at the Dryden Theater at the George Eastman Museum. Now, if you're anything like me, it's Thursday, March 26th, and you are already missing your baseball. Well, I am too. So we've got a couple of picks over the next couple of days. We actually did have an America's Pastime series that we ran back in 2017. These are a couple of films that we showed in that series. So the first one today we're highlighting is Speedy from 1928 with Harold Lloyd and George Herman Ruth. Dubbed the Third Genius by Kevin Brownlow and David Gill in a 1992 documentary, Harold Lloyd was an immensely popular silent film comedian and is recognized today, along with Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton, as masters of the craft. He got his start at the age of 20 in one-reelers, and just 2 years later, he had his own recurring character for Hal Roach, Lonesome Luke, that appeared in 67 films, 2 of which have been preserved by the George Eastman Museum. Lloyd and Chaplin started making films in the same 2-year period, and though at their height, Lloyd's films were not individually as successful as Chaplin's, he was much more prolific, making twice as many films overall. The image of Lloyd hanging from the minute hand of the clock on the side of the 12-story Bolton building is one of the most indelible in film history. Speedy, Lloyd's actual nickname bestowed to him by his father, is Lloyd's final silent feature. He appeared on screen occasionally over the next 10 years and then once again in 1947, but this was essentially near the end of his career. In this film, Speedy is a rabid Yankees fan that can't keep a job, often because of his baseball obsession. This frustrates his girlfriend Jane, who would like to marry him but can't because she can't leave the security of her grandfather's business, which runs the last horse-drawn streetcar in New York City. When Speedy hears of a plot to push Pop out of business, he has to step in and save the day, including a cross-city streetcar chase and an all-out brawl with Civil War veterans. Babe Ruth's role in the story is fairly brief but pivotal. One of Speedy's jobs is as a cab driver, and he happens to be in the right place at the right time to pick up Babe to take him to the game at Yankee Stadium. Naturally, Babe is late, and Speedy has to hurry, resulting in numerous near misses along the way. Babe is actually quite good in his comedic performance, giving great sourpuss and yelling at Speedy from the back seat. Now, this film was shot on location in New York City in October and November of 1927. I don't know what days Babe was on set, but he had just hit his record-breaking 60th homer of the season on September 30th. And he and the Yankees had just finished a sweep of the Pirates in the World Series on October 8th. So this could have been made only days after those accomplishments, and certainly not more than a month. One other person that was still sticking around was Babe's teammate and fellow Hall of Famer Lou Gehrig, who you can see in the film only if you know where to look. As Babe is getting out of the cab, Gehrig is passing by on the other side and looks through the window and sticks out his tongue. Now, the director, Ted Wilde, who received an Academy Award nomination for the film in the category of Best Direction of a Comedy, only time that's happened, was uniquely positioned to direct this film as, in the previous year, he had directed Harold Lloyd in The Kid Brother and Babe Ruth in Babe Comes Home. Now, just a couple of other things here. There are strange trends in films that you can sometimes only see later. For instance, 1928 seemed to be an especially busy year for Hollywood and Luna Park at Coney Island. After 25 years of operation, the amusement park was host to no less than 3 major Hollywood films: Speedy, King Vidor's The Crowd, and Paul Fajos's Lonesome, which George Eastman Museum also preserved. And when Speedy is at Luna Park, looking into the funhouse mirrors, keep your eye out for a certain vulgar gesture. It wasn't as big a deal back then as it is now. So, this is Speedy. It's streaming on the Criterion channel. Go ahead and take a look. Enjoy some vintage baseball footage, and then come back for another recommendation. Okay, thanks. See ya.